So from the top to the bottom, I went from best part of 17 stone to just over 11 stone.
Imagine losing 6 stone, then going on to get your personal training qualifications and setting up your very own fitness business. Well, I'm really excited to talk to Dan Mack today because that is exactly what he did. Welcome to the Storm Fitness Academy podcast. I won't welcome you to Storm Fitness Academy because obviously we've already done that bit, but welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, John. It's great to be here.
What I wanted to kick off with is ask you straight away, what inspired you, first of all, to become a personal trainer with Storm Fitness Academy?
I might have to roll back the clock a little bit further just to before that because I was significantly overweight, much heavier than I am now. I couldn't walk up a flight of stairs without, feeling like I was going to pass out. I'd probably need an asthma inhaler or something similar to make sure I survived. I got back into doing a little bit of exercise, a little bit of fitness. I got into martial arts and kickboxing, and then after a little bit of time, it became so much of my life. Fitness did that I wanted to know more. I wanted to everything I did was about learning and growing and developing, and then finding out ways I could help myself and help others. So we had a conversation after I dragged my heels and couldn't quite make my mind up as to whether I wanted to actually make it something that I wanted to commit to. You helped me pick a plan that worked for me, and then, well, they say the rest is history, I suppose. It's been a fantastic journey. It took me a little longer than I would have liked in the first place, but I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't change a thing. I'd do it all over again. And I actually do quite commonly revisit the stuff, revisit the content, the material, watch the videos again, especially with my partner studying it all at the moment. It gives me a really good chance to recap and just look at some of the things that I may have missed back then.
You said it took you a little bit longer than you'd intended. I mean, to cut yourself some slack, you've had some other commitments, haven't you? You know, you've got a partner, you've had a baby recently, so you've had a lot going on, but whilst transitioning from, you've got another job, haven't you? So it's not something that you didn't have the luxury of just doing this full time. It's something you've been doing on the side as well as being a full-time employee and a dad now. So congratulations.
Thank you. I think the biggest part for me, one, I didn't want to be a middle-aged heart attack statistic. And two, we want to be able to go, right, the kids are running, we can run too. Let's keep up with them. We don't want it to get to 10, 15, 20 years down the line and us be those people that are out of shape and unable to do anything. So our health is not just really for us, selflessly, it's also for the kids.
Yeah, absolutely. That's such strong accountability though, isn't it? Because sometimes, especially as parents, we're not that selfish. We tend to put our children first. If we're just trying to get in shape just for us, sometimes that's not powerful enough, is it? But when you're doing it because you know it's going to make you a better role model for them, and it means you're going to stay in the world a bit longer, you're going to be, modeling good health and fitness to them, it becomes more powerful and it's greater accountability, isn't it?
Yeah, I think for us, we're massive believers that kids are a byproduct of their environment. So we bring them up in a lifestyle where health, fitness, exercise are important. It's going to be important to them. It's going to give them a better quality and longevity in life. And at the same time, we don't see exercise and being healthy as being selfish. If anything, we're being selfless because we're thinking of the other people in the family. We're thinking about them not having to take time out to care for us because we can look after ourselves and we're stronger and we're healthier. And again, that's for my partner and for the kids as well.
Yeah, we're definitely on the same page with this, Dan. I've often heard people say, the best thing you can do for charity is not be a charity case, which sounds really cynical, doesn't it? But actually, if you break it down, what it's kind of saying is, if you make sure you look after your own health and fitness, not only are you modeling that, inspiring other people around you, but then you don't become another statistic, do you? You're not burdening the NHS with something that you could argue is modifiable and preventable. Obviously, that's not the case for everyone. People do have things that are wrong with them that is out of their control. But if you're at least taking care of your health and fitness, statistically, you are costing the NHS a lot less money, aren't you?
I couldn't agree more. I heard How much there is to it, I don't know, but I heard that they're going to be looking to prescribe park runs and things like that to people to help with their mental and physical health. And I think just people moving around a little bit doesn't have to be excessive. Just moving around a tiny bit can make a real difference to lifestyles. It doesn't have to be wholesale. It doesn't have to be a lot. It can be as little as doing a couple of 10-minute walks a day, but it can make a big difference to most people's lives.
Because you can get a bit overwhelmed as a beginner looking upon, you go online, you go on Instagram, or you go on YouTube, and you look at these crazy fitness fanatics who are doing these incredible challenges, which are, fun, inspiring, and everything else. But you can also think, oh my God, I'm so far away from that, that intimidates me so much that I don't want to get started. Whereas actually, most people don't do that, and you don't need to do that. You just need to do exactly what you just said. 10 minutes a day is a great place to start, and it's doing wonders for your physical and mental health.
Yeah, that's the way it is. I think there's so much support out there which doesn't cost anything through the NHS. There's your Couch to 5Ks, Couch to 10Ks, and other apps which can just make a big difference for people that just want to find a way of starting organically without it costing them anything, just to get themselves moving. And then when they need professional advice, there are people out there. There are people out there like us that are in a situation like a lot of parents, where they've got children, they've got young families, they need to work it around their schedule. And that's what's important to Liz and I about our life is we want to make it achievable for everyone else and show them how they can fit exercising around a busy, crazy family lifestyle and make it work for them, be the healthiest versions of themselves.
Yeah, I want to talk about in a moment about you and Liz and your business and what you're trying to start, what you're beginning to do together. Before I get to that, I'm still a bit intrigued actually about, you said that you lost quite a bit of weight. Can you remember how much you lost?
So from the top to the bottom, because I weighed less than I do now, I went about it the wrong way at points. There's definitely no doubt. I've learned so much along the way. I've lived by the ethos of don't tell someone to do something unless I know I can do it myself. Or at the same time, I've tried to do it myself and I've got a good understanding of it. Don't just read it and pass it on, live it, and then I can feel it and make it more relatable. I went from best part 17 stone to just over 11 stone. I went about it, like I said, I went about it the wrong way at points, but I lost that weight. And then I built up and I found through studying and learning how easy it actually can be to lose the weight rather than having to follow these crazy fads online and jump through all these different nutritional workout hoops, things that just they're template things that aren't built for people. They're built as an idea, but they don't take you into consideration. I think the best part, 6 stone was the difference. Which yeah, it was a big swing physically and mentally. It was a big
Huge.
change.
That is huge, isn't it? Yeah, because if somebody said to you now, put 6 stone of weight in a backpack and then spend the next 24 hours with that backpack on, how different would the quality of your day be?
I put a 20-kilo weight vest on sometimes just for my training, and in comparison, that's heavy enough. And that's just for a training session. If I was to chuck all that weight on again, I think it'd be unbelievable. And I think that's part of the motivation for me is I don't want to be that person I was. I want to be fitter, I want to be healthier, and I want to live quality life.
We live in a obesogenic society, don't we, where it's really bloody easy to be obese, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah, it's so easy. It's there's a culture for people being almost pushed in a direction of sitting all day and being sedentary, taking the lift, not taking this parking as close to the supermarket as possible rather than the back of the car park. And it's those small adjustments that you can put into your everyday life, walking 2 flights of stairs, walking across the car park, those little bits, they can go a long way on their own. It doesn't have to be wholesale changes. It can just be small adjustments to your everyday life to make it simpler. It really can. You don't have to go and dedicate hours and hours every day. You don't have to live your life like a monk, for example, and be brutal with your dieting. You just need to be a little bit, make some smarter choices, and really go a long way, can make a big difference.
A little while ago, our 16-year-old, when she was at school, she got the bus to school, and it's a 30-minute walk, or she can get the bus. And we used to pay for her to get the bus, and she wasn't doing any exercise at all. She was so sedentary, and we said to her, you need to find something, you need to find something, and she never did. So we took away a bus pass, and we said, well, come on to school then, can't you? And and she had no choice. She did it, and then she got used to it, and she was absolutely fine with it. But people would ask her like, "Oh, you know, how'd you get to school? Did you get the bus?" And she'd say, "No, I walk." And you could see people sort of almost like, "Should I be ringing in social services?" Uh, this they're making their child walk 30 minutes to school. We just have a different mindset to it because we see that as that's so good for her. She's getting the mental health boost of a brisk walk to school, and then she's switching off at the end of a day of a brisk walk home. I mean, she's got headphones, she listens to music, it's so good for her, and it's better for the planet, better for the environment. But the society generally sees that as that's child abuse.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. The school walk's done twice a day. We could so easily drive it. We really could. And we've been taking a different route this week, which is a lot hillier. So there's a much steeper incline throughout it. And even if she's had football the night before, we got home last night from football shortly after 7. And then this morning we're up, walked to school, absolutely loves it. She's full of energy. It clears her mind. It's better for her physically, psychologically. Couldn't ask for much else. I think it starts the day off right. A little bit of fresh air, a little bit of exercise. It just gets the body and the mind ready for learning. I think it makes a big difference.
This is one of the wonderful things about joining a fitness community, isn't it? So when you come to a Storm Fitness Academy workshop and you're talking to the other fitness enthusiasts that are there, we all share the same kind of ideas and philosophies about health and exercise. So you don't feel isolated, do you? It's normalized, this sort of conversation that we're having. But often outside of our fitness community, you feel a little bit odd sometimes, don't you? Or that, obsessive or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I've definitely had a few of those labels thrown at me. There's no two ways about it. But we'll walk anywhere we can. Doesn't matter how long it takes. We'll walk absolutely everywhere.
So okay, let's get into the nitty gritty of what you're doing, because you've done your level 2 gym instruction, you've done your level 3 personal training, and you're currently doing your level 4 strength and conditioning with us, and Liz is doing her level. She's actually just about to finish her level 2, or just finished it, isn't she? She's doing her level 3 as well. So you a very qualified fitness family. What are you going to do with it all, Dan?
The crux of why we're doing it as a family is we are a family. We have children. We know what it's like to live a crazy lifestyle and try and fit health and exercise in around it. For all the reasons we explained earlier, I think what our idea is and what our goal is to create a flexible online personal training platform where people can get fit and healthy on their schedule rather than on ours. It's quite difficult with a personal trainer. You try to work around when they're in the gym, when they're available to see you. But the way we're operating is we're going to operate differently. We're going to give people the flexibility in the workouts whenever they want, where they want, and we're tailoring it to them. So they're getting bespoke workout plans with their goals, everything built in around their schedule and their life to make it achievable, make it something that they can create long term, as opposed to it being just something that's done on a whim and then drops off after 4, 5, 6 weeks. Because it's so easily done. Life can get in the way. And if you've got something that works with you and with your lifestyle in mind, then there's nothing stopping you.
Yeah, I like that, Dan. Yeah, because when the online PT world became a thing, so many people had barriers to it. So like PTs had barriers because I think mainly because of the learning curve of having to, whether they're going to use technology or whatever it is to program, etc. So PTs have barriers there, but then there'll be some customers that would be thinking, oh, the whole point of me having a personal trainer is so they make me do it. Which, if you reframe it, which by the sounds of it you have done, it's like, do you want to work with somebody that you're only going to do that exercise if they're standing over you, pointing at you, shouting, saying, do more reps, do more reps? Or do you want somebody that empowers you and gives you the education, the knowledge, and the motivation, inspiration to carry out a workout, personalize their goals without me being there, with just you checking in with me and me helping you along the journey?
Me being qualified, it's something that I've started doing a short while ago, and I've been working with people online, and I've seen some phenomenal results. We beta tested the software and the app first with me coaching Liz, She's got a good background and she's got really good understanding of exercise from what she's learned with you guys and through her history of training as well. But she's got a physical condition which is phenomenal. I'm extremely envious, and I'm the one that put it all together for her. So she looks absolutely incredible. She's the fittest, healthiest she's ever been. She's smashing all types of personal bests with her training, her running, and everything else. And she's pulling up trees. She really is going for it. And it's phenomenal considering that just 6 months ago she had a child, and now she's setting all these personal bests. And she wants to make sure that other women that are out there that have had children that are in that position where they're living a crazy lifestyle, they can do it. They can make these changes around what they've got going on, and they can still be fit and healthy. They don't have to settle for what they have got or what they are.
Because obviously I've met Liz as well, and you're right, she's in phenomenal conditioning, and the fact that she had a baby 6 months ago blows my mind. Do you two, when you talk about this stuff, do you find that you have similar philosophies on how to go about that change and how to sustain it? Is it you got similar kind of ideas with that thing?
Oh, absolutely. One of the best things that we've got when it comes to that side of things and why we decided to do this together is we both have the same belief that it can be really easy, it can be simple, and it can work with everyone's lifestyle if they're willing to make a change. But I think the first step is anyone has to be willing to change. If they don't want to, then they shouldn't maybe commit to something until they're ready to. They need to have a really good reason why, whether it's for them, whether it's for someone else, whether it's internally motivated or if it's externally motivated. If they've got an idea that they want to get ready for that holiday they're going on in 6 months, or if they just want to be able to go for a walk and not be out of breath, they want to be able to carry the shopping and not worry about it, or pick up their kids and it not be a struggle. It's got to be applicable to that person. But we both live and breathe the same thing. We live the same lifestyle. We both want to be healthy. We both want to be happy, and we both want the best for our kids.
Yeah, and I think your kids are going to get the best as well, because having both parents on board and being very passionate about this is so powerful. I don't know if you remember it, but on the level 3, we touch on the theory of planned behavior. And it's this psychological model of behavior change. And one of the first things it says is for anyone to adopt behavior change, you've got to have the right attitude. And that attitude basically means you've got to totally believe in what you're doing. And you two are clearly very passionate about health and fitness. You completely believe that not just the parents, the children, everyone, the whole household should pursue a healthier lifestyle. You've got that. You've nailed the attitude. And then there's 3 components, but the second part relates to you guys massively, and that's subjective norms. So subjective norms means you become an average of who you surround yourself with. So if you're around people that exercise all the time, you're more likely to exercise. And you're creating this subjective norm within your household that we pursue health and fitness. So your kids they're just naturally going to be doing that.
I think that's what's important. For us, it's not that that's something you have to do or it's a task, it's a chore. It's just a way of life. There's no other way. There isn't a exercise as an option. It's exercise is just part of life. And it is, and it just keeps you fit and healthy. It's there to make sure that, like we said, we're not being those statistics. We're not being that burden. If we go back to the charity reference we said earlier on, we're not being that person.
Yeah, absolutely. When we look at things like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right at the bottom, we need food, shelter, warmth, all that sort of stuff. I'll put exercise down there as well. It's like, because it's a catalyst for so many things, isn't it? Because if you don't exercise, you find yourself not making as good choices when it comes to nutrition. You don't sleep as well. You're genuinely a little bit more half glass empty, which means you probably repel more relationships in your life rather than attract positivity. So it's just, I don't know, it's everything for me. Your community that you're going to start creating, you're going to be the subjective norms for the people that come and join you. You're going to be spreading that passion. They're going to be hanging out with you and your community, and it's just going to really help with their adherence.
For me, I've been coaching martial arts for years, and I've always been around people that have been like-minded in that side of things. So to have a similar community where people want to be fit and healthy, but from a different aspect, it's going to be fantastic, and we're really, really excited for what we've got coming.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. If you did, make sure you stay tuned next week for part 2. And if you did like the episode, then like it, share it, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. See you next week.